Hi. Hello, guys. Welcome, everyone. Nice to see you all in this nice theater area. So, just to introduce myself first, before we go through this open metaverse topic, I'm Arslan Kiran. I'm actually working at the Sandbox as head of growth for multiple regions. And I'm also founder of Hungri Games. I've been in gaming for 15 years. I used to work for projects like Game of Thrones, Winter's Coming with user games. And I was also leading the operations for Garena Free Fire. Maybe you might have played one of those games in the past. Yeah, and now since 2 years I'm at the Sandbox trying to create the open metaverse for the Web3 audience. So before I start my keynote, I want to ask you guys, how many of you guys own an NFT? Okay, just one or two. Okay, and how many of you played games before? So, okay, that's really cool. So I will tell you about the correlation between the NFTs and games later. It was cool to see some of the gamers and the thing. So, so actually, I want to start with the topic of what is the Sandbox and what is the open metaverse. How we define open metaverse is a bit different than what people think. I'm sure that you will have some questions later on. Are you guys building on VR? What is your tools to build the metaverse and stuff? So the definition is actually like this. So open metaverse is a virtual world where you own a 3D avatar and you experience the digital twin of the real life experiences. Which means you enter the Sandbox or any metaverse platform with an avatar that you choose, and you basically try to experience the things that you are doing in the real life. And I know it sounds a bit creepy, like maybe you might have to ask the question like, okay, how come? I mean, you can have the real experience in the metaverse, but you should see this as a very pre-alpha version of metaverse because we just started now, the whole metaverse experience and the whole digital property topic is just starting now. And metaverse is basically building on this digital property topic because digital property is one of the most important things when it comes to Web3 and metaverse. And that's why I asked this question about gaming, because if you play games before, I assume that, most of you guys, I saw that you play games in the past. You basically had kind of like also been to this pre-alpha of metaverse because you literally own a character and you own an item in the game. But the difference now is actually you can truly own it with the smart contract and the Web3. So actually, that's the whole starting point of the open metaverse. And if you just talk about the social experience platform, I mean, Sandbox is one of the metaverses. There are different metaverses around the world. Sandbox is a voxelized version metaverse. It's more like a Minecraft and Roblox style. And it doesn't mean that there will be only one metaverse in the world. So there will be many metaverses coming. So there are so many investments going on right now in the metaverse platforms. I mean, Facebook, Meta was trying to do it. They failed so far. But we are expecting a huge development from the other platforms coming into that space. Sandbox is just one part of the metaverse, which is doing actually a bit better than the other metaverses around the world. And we call it also like a social experience platform because you basically enter the Sandbox with your avatar, and then you can interact with other people. You can basically meet them. You can create a group with them. You can play a certain game. You can go to a live concert. You can literally have this social experience kind of pre-alpha version in the digital world. And just talking about the numbers, so we have 4.5 million active accounts created, and just 350K in the last quarter of 2022. In 2023, we even grow more, and we have higher numbers. So this is some numbers that we had from our seasons because we are still in the alpha, as I mentioned. 70 million visits. We had people played average like average played like 20 to 25 minutes, which made like 2.4 million like hours played in the thing. So this is one of the biggest spending time in an online transaction. I mean, if you compare to gaming world, in games we had this retention rate, KPIs, playing time, KPIs. I think Metaverse, I mean Sandbox especially, what we see in the Metaverse experience, people literally spend more time. Because you also have this motivation of earning something, you have also like, different kind of, not games only, you have different IPs that you can interact with. So that's working, but I mean, if you see the numbers like 30,000 DAU and all these numbers that here, it's very low compared to any gaming project that I used to work for in the past. But yeah, that's also why we call it like pre-alpha and alpha and at the moment. And in terms of like the, I mean, previously I saw some really cool keynote about the Gen Z generation and millennials comparison. Like, I mean, you know that like the first true digital natives are actually is born just now. Like, I mean, 50% of the population is of the world population is Gen Z. So, and they have a different mindset than compared to me, for example, like or my generation, I would say, because they care about the digital property and they care about the digital identity more than the current the previous generations. And then we see in terms of the how it's reflecting to the NFT world and the things. So we have like seen lots of like big projects. I mean, like League of Legends finals. We had the Ariana Grande concert, Travis Scott concert, which was watched more than 27 million people at the same time in the Metaverse. So basically, you enter your with your character to this Fortnite virtual world, and then you have this huge Ariane's picture, or like a 3D model there, and then she's just plugging in from his home or like studio. She's actually in pajamas, but 27 million people, like unique people, are watching this thing, and then she literally earned around $40 million with this concert in 3 days, which was actually her yearly revenue. So, I mean, these kind of projects that is just starting with the live concerts, celebrities and IPs, is changing the perception of Metaverse a bit within the market. And then we will see many other projects are coming in this year and upcoming year. And so this is the number that we just checked in 2022. $40 billion is spent on NFTs. This is a huge number compared to the people who are interested in NFTs, because at the end, I mean, I just asked this question today. There was only 1 or 2 persons who own NFTs. Where this number is coming from? It is like this. I mean, first of all, US, Japan, Korea, and most of the Asian countries are crazy with NFTs. I mean, if you ask people on the street, 1/3 of them own an NFT. So the culture is actually adapted there. I mean, it's coming to our regions now, like East Europe, Middle East is just adapting, and we are adapting also fast. And but the number is increasing drastically because one person, when he buys an NFT, he also trades it, and then this multiplies the value and the volume trade. So whenever you have a volume of, I mean, let's say like $1,000 NFT, so you basically create the for players. And what is Sandbox standing on this thing? So we basically offer 3 pillars. First of one is like play, which is aiming the users who's coming to this metaverse for free, and then they can just go and play or like experience some concert or like going to some virtual conference. The other one is create, so you can be a developer and then just start creating the experience for the others. And the third one is the own and earn. This stuff that I mentioned with the NFTs, and earn is also like when you play that experience, you can also get some items and you can sell it in the market and you can make a lot of revenue. Especially in East Europe, we have a huge, especially in Russia and Ukraine, we have a huge numbers of players who are really good in terms of earning. So they literally know how to play, and because they are like pro gamers mostly, and they used to play in CS:GO and lots of like hardcore games in the past, so they know how to earn in the game. They have a good story of the things. So this also creates an additional economy for the ecosystem. And what we do is actually we got these earnings. I mean, we got actually the investments from those IPs and people who invest in lands that I will explain you, and then we turn into kind of like a incentive for players. So there is actually a video on this, but I will skip this. So this is actually the last event that we had, where we had this playtime that I mentioned to you. I mean, 27-minute per average, 27-minute gameplay for average is quite huge for a platform which looks casual in that sense. And then this already like gives us a bit of hope for future, because if you can keep a user for 27 minutes in a virtual world, you basically have you already established a ground, and then you just have to build it on it. And what I want to also tell it, like we have like multiple partners around the world who is actually building us. We have Gucci, we have Lacoste, we just announced recently. We have most of the HSBC and most of the institutional banks. We have Snoop Dogg, like Steve Aoki, all these Paris Hilton celebrities, which are also doing experiences in the Sandbox. And actually, we are growing together with this. But besides on this, Web3 and gaming is a subculture, as you know, and then it has our own values. Also, the Metaverse and the Web3 is offering us a subculture. It's quite different. I mean, people are really connected to each other. They help each other on the events. So there is actually a lot of incentives going on within the Web3 culture. I mean, if you work for a Web3 company, you literally earn higher salary than most of the other industries in tech, because they are very incentivized between each other. I mean, people are kind of trying to support each other within that Web3. For example, in gaming, there's a bit of competition. I mean, there's huge competition, there are high spendings, but Web3 is definitely a different subculture. And then we see it also with our events that we are throwing out around the world. And how we create this subculture and how we kind of create this whole game ecosystem is with the lands. Land is a digital part of the Metaverse, so it's actually a tool and a kind of like a digital pixelized version of an ownership which gives you ability to facilitate your ideas. For example, if you own a land like one-on-one, it is like a football stadium kind of size in the Sandbox. So you can literally create a live concert. You can literally create like a small game, like a mini game where you can invite other players and then you can run a contest. So you can do a lot of things. If you have like 2-on-2, you can make a huge world with different, like an RPG game. You can have like different B2B kind of experiences where you can explain your brand and so on. So I mean that's why land is important. And then currently we have sold out all of our lands. I mean 80% is already sold out. Whenever we do like a land sale actions, it's always sold out in 1 or 2 days. And people are really crazy to get those lands at first stage. And yeah, and then we have also like with the lands ecosystem, we have also like different regions. For example, we have a land, like a keywords land, which is just getting the IPs from Korea. And then we have a land just for Dubaiverse, where we have all the brands from Dubai and celebrities. We have Turkishverse land. We have a land about California Dreaming, where you have all the IPs and celebrities from California. And then you basically can get a land next to Snoop Dogg, and you can be neighbor to Snoop Dogg. And then you can literally get NFTs from Snoop Dogg. Whenever he's throwing a party at the Sandbox, you can also get some invitation because he's your neighbor, you are really close with him. And so this is actually the idea of the land. So it's actually, you need a land to build and create something and publish it at Sandbox. So, and the 3 steps to enter the Sandbox. So you basically just go to sandbox.game and create a character, avatar, and then you just enter and then start playing those experiences. Right now, and since 3 weeks, we have started the self-publishing, which means we open the Metaverse now. officially. So you can literally go to each land and then just press the play button and just experience the ideas that they created on that thing. So it's 99% of the content created at Sandbox is by others, so we don't create anything. So that's why I'm sure that you guys will ask that question in your mind, why we don't do anything in VR. I mean, I had some guys yesterday ask me that question as well. Because we don't think that VR is accessible yet. Because you cannot really think of having a VR to a 50 years old or 15 years old person, put it on the head and trying to play those experiences. Plus, you cannot really create experiences easily on VR yet. And maybe in 5 years it's going to be happening. That's why we go with this Foxlight version, very easy to access. Any of you guys who was here, like who studied architecture, who has a good design background, or you are probably like a developer, a computer science, you can go to Game Maker and then you can start creating something in 2 hours. You can create a game or an event in 2 hours. I mean, you can just try, it's quite easy. So that's how we think that Metaverse can be created, because you need to be accessible to developers. Otherwise, there's no point of spending like $100,000 Unreal budget with five developers, which takes 3 months to build, and then you expect to grow from there. So that's actually our idea and why we do this thing in the Metaverse. You will see when you go to the sandbox.game. And then you can also engage with your experience. So we have different experiences here, like as you see. So you can literally play games. So we have lots of games, like for example with Ubisoft IPs, RPG games, different like parkour games, casual games. So you can play. So you have you can exchange in the social hubs. For example, we had an event for Steve Aoki and Blondish fans, where the fans of Steve Aoki and Blondish gather together in the social hub. They interact each other. They met the celebrity and the thing. So we have created dance clubs. We have, for example, decorate housing. So we are working with lots of architectures around the world to come up with really cool ideas about interior design in Foxlight version, which gives them like a really good base for their upcoming projects. And we are also working on tourismverse kind of idea, that we are connecting countries like Indonesia, Qatar, and France to present their country in the Metaverse from the governmental agencies. I hope Georgia could be the next. But you can do a lot of things, like you can actually also visit a museum, but all of them in a Foxlight version. I don't want to disappoint you guys that you probably expect like an Unreal version. Everything is like real. So this is all in like a Minecraft, Roblox, Foxlight version. Because of the reason that I mentioned to you. So it should be accessible and it should be built easily by other people. So these are some of the game jams. What we're doing is actually, we are also discussing with a couple of project owners here in Georgia to come up with ideas to make some game jam with the Georgian community maybe in the future. So the idea is like to, how we can make a topic accessible. Let's say like we had this Walking Dead IP, and then we had more than 500 creators around the world who created their own Walking Dead game, which gives huge freedom to users to create something with idea. And it was quite interesting to see what kind of ideas you can create. For example, right now, we are actually working with some cities to create the future of the cities. I mean, we expect like 1,000 creators who just work on Dubai future, how's gonna look Dubai in the future, or how's gonna, let's say like if you talk about Tiflis, what do you expect to see in Tiflis in 100 years? And then we might like 500 developers around the world or from the local ecosystem. So they just present us what is their imagination in the Metaverse. And that's actually how we build the things. And then people can go and play those experiences when they enter Sandbox for free. And yeah, I mean, the third one is to activate your Web3 community. I mean, if you are a company or you are a celebrity or you're an influencer, you can basically use Sandbox as a platform. It's nothing different than YouTube or TikTok. So it's a Metaverse platform. So you go have a land there, and then you constantly create experiences, different experiences there. You invite your own followers, and then they interact with your IP. And how we do it, these are the two tools. We have two tools to, I mean, it's going to be a bit technical, but I will try to keep it short. We have two tools to experience this. First one is like a game client, so that's where players are going. That's actually, you download it and play. So we have ideas to do it in web and mobile version in the future too, to be more accessible. We have Fox-edit contents. I mean, if you are a designer, you are designing, you know how to do Photoshop, or you are a good illustrator, so you can literally design something in 2 hours with this Fox-edit, because it's quite easy to create something, and then you can use this to create a game or an experience. That's one thing, and the other tool is Marketplace. So once you create those assets, you can put it on the Marketplace, sell, and earn some revenue. And you literally turn those assets that you create to an NFT, and then it gives you a bit of additional income on the thing. And then the last and most important thing is the Game Maker. So Game Maker is actually is for developers and anyone who's interested in the thing. So it's the idea is like to give them a no-code platform where they can create something really quick with the Game Maker. So Sandbox ecosystem is actually right now, we are approaching to have 1,000 partners. As I mentioned, Sandbox is not creating anything itself, so it's done by other partners and other creators. And then we have almost like 1,000 partners right now globally from different areas, and it's growing. So that's how we think that the metaverse can be created. I mean, you cannot be a centralized things like that other metaverses are doing, and you can expect to grow from there. I mean, the idea is like to create the metaverse with those IPs and different things. So I mean, we have global IPs that I mentioned to you, like Smurfs, people of crypto, and OpenSea and Warner, and so on. And we have banks, financial partners. We have education partners, universities. Everything is like the things. And then we have lots of different community meetups, community events around the world to create this open metaverse. Thanks for listening. And if you have any questions, just send me an email.
Thank you, Arslan. Really appreciate it. Fantastic. No, that's great. Cheers.